Closing out a cycle with our lower selves is the medicine that we would need in order to ascend, right? Usually, when we are stuck on cycles, it's because there's something that we haven't learned, right? There's something that we continue to repeat. There's something that is anchoring us into those lower realms, right? And although society doesn't see anything wrong with it, right? For our purposes, when it comes to ascending for our highest good, when it comes to awakening the God within us, when it comes to us healing and becoming united within oneself, we must close out these cycles for our highest good, right? So whether we're ready for it or not, right? At some point, it doesn't matter what age, we will have to close out these cycles. We will have to address those childhood wounds. We will have to address those insecurities, right? And so the way that I was able to close out many cycles was by choosing self, by choosing myself, by choosing to love myself, by choosing to ascend, right? And so I noticed that the issue wasn't anybody outside of me. It was what I allowed and what I engaged and indulged in, right? Because I have free will. So although things were done to me and people played their roles and things like that, at the end of the day, the person that was in charge, that's in charge of me, is me. The person that makes decision for me is me. There's people that could have influence, right? I could say many things. I could say, there was dark magic being done. I was molded to be a certain way, right? And that's all true. That's all valid. But again, we come to a point where we have free will, right? And it is our responsibility to really just analyze who we are, who we want to become, and the things that we allow and or don't allow, right? And this is why it's important that we detach from the programming, because a lot of the things that were holding me back was the programming, was the ideas and belief that I had agreed with, whether consciously or unconsciously. And so one of the things that helped me to close out cycle was to detach from the programming, to truly come to an understanding of what was important to me, what was abating and assisting me. And it's a selfish road, right? But the rewards later on that road are that this is something that you keep for you for the rest of your life. Nobody can take it from you. And those who fall off, they were not meant to be in your journey. They play their role, right? Because everyone that we meet, that we interact with, they have a role for a season, for a time frame, because a lot of these people, we place them in our reality to teach us something, right? And sometimes they do that, but we continue to engage with them. We continue to indulge in certain things that we've already extracted the lesson and all that we needed from it, but because of our own insecurities and our need to feel validated or to feel love or to look for things outside of ourselves, we continue to engage and indulge in certain things, right? And so, as I was awakening at the beginning of my awakening and throughout my ascensions, the one thing that I have had very clear is that my main purpose through it all is to love myself, right? To choose me, to love myself. And that is selfish. That's a lot of saying no to things that no longer serve us. And in order to know what no longer serves us, we have to identify that, right? And so we have to really come to a place of honesty, a place of truth, a place of really living in your truth, where you don't have to remember what you said because you know what you said was truth. So it's gonna be the same. If such and so asks you today, tomorrow, the next day, it'll be the same because it's truth, right? And so closing out a cycle in our lower self meant that I had to face my inequities. I had to face my insecurities. I had to face my childhood trauma. I had to do a lot of forgiveness. a lot of forgiving myself and forgiving others. What helped me forgive was the fact that I had kind of transferred my consciousness into a different reality, into an anchoring of a different reality. So instead of looking at things with the titles as that's my mother, that's my brother, that's my son, that's my husband, instead of looking at individuals like this, because I had a lot of betrayals and a lot of hurt, I looked at it with the perspective of and the perception of these were the people that I decided to have interactions with. This is what my soul carved out for me. I had to go through those experiences to become the person that I am today. And although at that time I didn't understand it because my purpose had not been revealed to me yet, it was a lot of healing and forgiveness that was happening at that time. So I was not aware that I needed to go through these experiences, through the childhood abuse, through the neglect, through the incest, through all of that weird, horrible things that destroys the human being, right? I didn't understand and I didn't know that I needed those experiences in order to be here today in front of this phone, right? That my purpose had to do with exactly that, right? And so I just kept hearing you have, your purpose is to love yourself right now, right? Your purpose is to, become a mother to that child that was neglected, become a father to that child, be a sibling for the child, be a friend to that child, right? Like nurture your inner child, heal it. I didn't know. So I that's what I did. And I anchored my reality into having a purpose, my soul having carved out these experiences for the purpose of my soul's evolution, and understanding the one thing that helped me the most was that God was with me. That was the one thing that helped me the most, because God had manifested himself and revealed to me that, it's part of a bigger purpose. I'm only using you, Susan. I'm only using you, right? So that gave me not hope, because I know things to be so. I don't believe, I know them to be so. I know that God has a purpose for me. I know that God wants great things for me. I know these things. I don't hope for them. I know them. And that for me, like me knowing was the key, right? So I changed it's like my consciousness in my same vessel was replaced with a different consciousness, but one that was anchored into purpose, anchored in God, anchored in ascension, in healing, in claiming my spiritual inheritance, right? And so with that, I'll be back with part two.